Breaking news today, Greg Glassman has announced that the CrossFit Games on the men's side will be cancelled, with Patrick Vellner and Jeffrey Adler dominating the Open this year. The men's competition is not needed. Pat Vellner will be crowned the 2020 CrossFit Games champion on the men's side, and we'll just go and watch the women in Madison, Wisconsin. I wish. Oh, that'd be so good. But Patrick Vellner's looking good. Jeffrey Adler's looking good. There's Canadians everywhere as you look. So good on you guys. But you still have to go to the games. You still have to compete. And you still have to knock off the champ, Matt Fraser. Let's go look at the leaderboard and see what else we can find there. So looking at the leaderboard now, just made a quick little wardrobe change. When you look at the men's side of things, you got 4 Canadian men in the top 15. When we switch over to the women, Carolyn Ann Reason-Thibault is the only Canadian female in the top 28, when Sherilyn Prevost would be the next one. And Carolyn Ann Reason-Thibault will not be going as an individual, from what I understand. She's part of a team with Tremblay, and they will be competing at the Filthy 150, so she's going team this year. So let's go look over at the men's leaderboard, then we'll come back to the females one. So looking at the men's leaderboard here, one thing that really is interesting, we'll switch over to the big screen, but as you can see, Patrick Vellner, Jeffrey Adler, 1 and 2, the top Canadians, as I mentioned earlier. Matt Fraser comes in third. Great showing by Matt Fraser. He kind of had a rough 20.5 comparatively speaking to the other athletes at the top there, placing 24th in the world for men, but Heat on Minded on Instagram. They had an interesting little stat there that I didn't realize. But as you can see here, Matt Fraser, dating back to 2016, so first in the regionals, first in the Open 2017, first in regionals, first in the games, first in the Open, regionals, games, Open, Dubai Rogue Invitational, games last year. So this is the first time since 2016 at regionals that Matt Fraser has not won a competition he was in. Does that mean anything? No, not really. Matt Fraser's still Matt Fraser. Maybe he wasn't training as hard. Maybe he was just looking forward to other competitions. Maybe Pat Vellner and Jeffrey Adler increased their fitness level that much to beat him. I don't really think so. But definitely it will be we were looking last year at the 2019 games for Pat Vellner to compete against Matt Fraser, go head-to-head, see if he could push him. That sprinting event and just how everything kind of went, kind of threw Vellner off, and he was out early. So maybe in 2020 we'll get that competition that we were looking for. Because truly, I only feel that Pat Vellner is the only one that could push Matt Fraser. So back to the leaderboard. So Pat Vellner in first, congrats to him. Jeffrey Adler 1 point behind him, and Matt Fraser in third place behind them. Now, Lieutenant Theonitis was in first place, I think, up until last week. Then he got hit by kind of a rash of penalties, and then they weren't anything major. But then in 20.5, just like Matt Fraser, he came 76 in the world, so not very good for him. Maybe it was being a shorter athlete like he is. The wall balls and the rowing aren't really built for shorter athletes, but he dropped down to fourth place, still going the games. Borvin Carl Gudmundsson in fifth, Mr. Consistency. Noah Olsen in sixth, and I guess the next big name would be Jonah Koski in 12th. Then other names, as you go down, you got Tim Paulson 17th, and we'll go right down to the cut line here. You can see they have it. So Alexandre Caron is at the cut line in 27th place. So the reason it's 27 is because you have national champions in there that throw off the numbers as well. So you can see Chandler Smith qualified, Ben Smith qualified, so that's good to see him. Rich Froning qualified. Obviously, he'll go as a team. Cole Sager's in there, Jacob Hepner's in there, Sam Kawant, Tim Paulson. So a lot of these guys now have their ticket punched to the CrossFit Games. So basically what they'll be doing going forward will just be picking different sanctionals they want to go to make some money. The Dubai CrossFit Championship has a huge prize purse. So that's something that these athletes like Matt Fraser definitely will be going to win that. That supplements your income throughout the year. And you'll see some of these other athletes hit up some of the other ones to try to win. Maybe the prize purse is smaller. It's not like the Dubai where you can go home with $50,000, $60,000. Maybe it's only $12,000, but for a weekend to work, that's great. So we'll switch over to the female side of things. So if you're not really up on the leaderboards the last couple of years, this top 3 is identical to last year's leaderboard. Sarah Sigmundsdottir winning it, Annie Thorsdottir in second, and Kristen Holte in third place. So identical. Then right behind them in fourth is Tia Claire Toomey. Emma McQuaid had a nice showing to round out the top five. Jamie Green obviously was in the podium last year. She tied for fifth with Emma McQuaid. So then we'll go down the cut line and work our way back like before. So we have Emma Tall at 33rd. So you can see the men were at 27 for the cut line, women at 23rd. It just all depends how things stack up with the national champions. So just outside the cut line, let's see if there's any names that are kind of Rachel Garibay. She's a name that we know. Andrusella Pacelli, she didn't make it to the Open per se, like that cut line, but she'll be the national champion of Italy. Jessica Griffin fell without the cut line. Bethany Shadburn fell outside the cut line as well, and she won't be the national champion, so she'll have to qualify through a sectional. But we'll go up here. So Emma Tall, Meg Reardon, Haley Adams, all names that we know at the games last year. Sherilyn Prevost from Canada, Amanda Barnhart, nice to see her in 27th, so she's heading back to the games. Catherine Davis-Daughter was kind of a surprise at 25th. Had a really bad or a good showing up until the last event. A lot of athletes kind of caught up to them. 176 in the world for Catherine Davis-Daughter, who comes in at 25th. Who do we got above her? Sabrina Caron from France, who was at the games last year. Danny Spiegel, who's been kind of trending upwards over the last couple of years. Kara Saunders, just 5 months, or maybe it's 6 months now, removed of having a baby, and she's qualifying the top 12. Brooke Wells right above her in 11th. Laura Horvath, real nice to see her qualify in 10th place. At the start, I think it was the first two, so 36, a 42nd, a 40th. So it wasn't looking good right there for her to qualify for the games. And all of a sudden near the end, she kind of picked it up. She threw in a 9th. That really helped her score. Then the last one, she got 23rd. So she moved up to 10th. So it just kind of shows that consistency is the key here. Carolyn Ann Reason-Thibault, who said is going team. She comes in 8th. Carrie Pierce, 7th. Jamie Green, Emma McQuaid, Tia Claire Toomey. So a lot of very familiar names up there on the leaderboard, and some that I don't recognize. So like Slovakia there in 9th, Karen Friova, good for her. She's in the top 10. Let me just check while we're here, see if she's attended the games. She might have attended as a national champ last year. First. Yeah, so she was in the games last year and came 22nd. So good on her. So nice to see some different names up there. So we'll switch over to the national champs. Just go through that really quick. So I don't know why it shows. I don't know why it shows Jeffrey Adler there. It should be Patrick Vellner, but maybe because Patrick Vellner won, they give it to Jeffrey Adler in second. Matt Fraser, obviously winning the States. Leftenis Theonitis in Greece. Gudmundsson won in Iceland. Braden Brown in Australia. And then it was kind of a close race over in Russia. And Roman Krekhinov, he won, but it'd be interesting. He hasn't been able to go to the games the last 2 years due to visa issues. So we'll see if he can get that sorted out. Nice to see Jonah Koski qualify through Finland. A really tight race here in Great Britain. Zach George ended up winning, beating out Elliot Simmons. I think they went into the final event. I think they were maybe like 1 point apart. So good race there. Willie Georges qualified out of France. Petrov Sinieski, sorry about that. I think he's a firefighter actually in the Service Open. He qualified through Poland. And go down here, some other names you recognize. Jason Smith out of South Africa. So that's kind of it for the national championship. So obviously we'll wait till everything finalizes. Remember, you had to, in order to qualify as a national championship, there had to be a box within your country. You had to perform all the workouts RX. I was hoping that there'd be kind of like a cut line, like see these gentlemen here finished like 4,000 in the world. It'd be nice to say, okay, you had to be in the top 2,000 to qualify for the game. So say the cut line would be right here, all the way to the bottom here. So you have like this gentleman here, Jack, out of Papua New Guinea, finished 89,000 in the world. Yeah, it's nice that he's going to go to the CrossFit Games, or truly should he be on that stage when you look at some of his scores here, like his very first score, 20.1, 100,000 people finished over him in the CrossFit Open. So whereas if you go back to the top of the national championship, you have people like Jeffrey Adler, who's in second overall, Matt Fraser third, fourth, fifth, seventh, 10th. These are the people that should be going there. No disrespect to the gentlemen there in Papua New Guinea, but I feel there should be some type of threshold. So anyway, CrossFit has until tonight to validate the videos, tonight being Wednesday when I'm recording this, but then finalize everything. Well, I think it's December 14th where everything will be finalized, national champions and all that good stuff. So there's still a little bit of wait till then. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a video about the Filthy 150 coming up soon. And just anything CrossFit news related, you can come here and have some fun, watch the video, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.